Hi, my name is Aaron Hustad. I will be discussing case study 14, which is titled The Marble Jar. This case study falls under the motivation matrix. The second case study I will be discussing is case study number 15, called 7 Chips. This case study falls under the social-emotional/moral development matrix. Case study 14 talks about how Mr. Fenwick has a dilemma of how to keep his students engaged and work independently. He has some difficulties with coming up with strategies to keep all of his students working because he has a diverse classroom where all the learners are at varying cognitive levels. He tries to implement an intrinsic reward by having a jar of marbles, and if the jar is filled, the students get a reward. The only way to get a marble, though, is by staying on task. According to Essentials of Educational Psychology, they define extrinsic motivation as motivation to engage in activity because it leads to a desired reward or consequence. The teacher in this case study uses extrinsic motivation because he wants his students to start behaving and staying on task in class. The connections to attributions is that the teacher is trying to come up with a plan that uses all of his students' attributions to help them stay on task. This fits that because according to the University of Florida, they state that learners are engaged in the learning environment due to a desire to develop causes of behaviors. In this case, the teacher keeps in mind what each learner's abilities so that all of his students are able to achieve the goal and also keep the students on track. Part C, this case study ties into the third tier of the pyramid or the esteem stage because students are getting recognized for doing their job in class and following the rules. Question 1, what basic principle of behaviorism is Mr. Fenwick using? In this situation, he uses the extrinsic motivation principle by giving students a physical reward for staying on task in class. Question 2, characterize the nature of the reinforcement that Mr. Fenwick is using. He uses extrinsic rewards by having the students pick an activity or field trip so that the students will be motivated to keep focused in class. Why do you think the marble jar is effective in improving students' behavior in Mr. Fenwick's classroom? It's effective because it gives students something physical that they can strive for instead of something that is an abstract concept. Case study 15 talks about a specific student in the Stanton classroom who has cognitive and physical delays. Ms. Stanton tries to curb the student's disruptions in class by implementing a chip reward system. The student gets 7 chips, and if he runs out, he has to have recess/lunch in a room by the principal. This reward system fails after a while, and after he moves to the 4th grade. Part A, this case relates to moral development because the child in this case never developed the ability to act in a manner that is acceptable in society because his mother practiced permissive parenting. So he never learned the right way to act because he never got in trouble for acting badly, so the teacher had to help him develop morals. Part B, this study connects to the first stage of Kohlberg's moral development theory because according to Northwestern Oklahoma State's presentation on the first stage on Kohlberg's development, they state that obedience and punishment, that it's the obedience and punishment because the teacher is trying to have students learn how to obey her classroom rules. Which one of the question number 1 for this is which one of the following parenting styles best characterizes the approach Jefferson's mother takes in raising her son? Permissive parenting because she doesn't punish him, instead rewards him for everything he does. Question 2, using concepts and principles from behaviorism, provide a theoretical rationale for Miss Stanton's chip strategy. The rationale is that she uses a physical outside reinforcer that Jefferson will be able to understand and follow. Question 3, what evidence do you see that Miss Stanton's strategy, although leading to a temporary improvement in Jefferson's behavior, is unlikely to have a long-term effect? Because only using extrinsic rewards as motivation and reinforcement, extrinsic rewards/motivation only lasts for a short while. Instead of using these sparingly, that would have worked because it wouldn't have lost its value with Jefferson.